Ron DeSantis also said Wednesday that he believes Georgia's 2020 election was legitimate. Despite that lack of evidence, Trump announced he will hold a press conference on Monday, where he claimed he will provide proof for allegations of fraud that have been thoroughly disproven.
Will he? That press conference actually might not happen at all.
That press conference is now very much in doubt. Multiple sources tell ABC News that Trump's legal advisors have told him that holding such a press conference with more dubious claims about election fraud in Georgia would only complicate his legal problems. His lawyers have asked him to cancel that press conference. The status of it is now very much up in the air. But of course, if he comes forward, Michael, those allegations in Georgia have been thoroughly disproven.
Listen, if your own lawyers are telling you don't do the press conference, it will not exonerate you. Maybe listen to your counsel telling you don't do it. But we'll see what happens on Monday, because Trump seems pretty committed to holding this press conference where he alleges he's going to provide irrefutable evidence that the election was stolen from him. I mean, never mind the fact that he and his team of crackpot lawyers had literally dozens of times to make that case before federal judges, more than 60 times in these cases before federal judges. But nonetheless, Ty Cobb, who actually happened to be one of Trump's former White House lawyers, recently agreed that the press conference, not a good idea, don't do it. And here's his reasoning.
This is all Trump, PR. This is, generating chaos. I mean, frankly, there's a good chance that whatever document he produces ends up as evidence against him. It could even end up, as the basis for an obstruction count against the author, because it's likely to be fiction and solely for the purpose of contaminating the jury pool.
I mean, how does Trump not realize this? So, Cenk, what do you think is going to happen?
Okay, so I'm not sure if the press conference is going to happen or not. It's a rare time where I don't have a prediction because of this. Every single advisor is going to tell him not to do it, because you would have to be mental to do it. Like, guys, think about it this way. Even if you were generally right, which Trump is not anywhere near correct, but if you were generally right and you do a press conference and you state things a little wrong, that could be used against you in court later. And then they'll ask you, were you lying then or are you lying now? And then if you make a number of mistakes, they're gonna paint you as a liar in that way, even if you were relatively innocent and had made a couple of honest mistakes. That's why lawyers tackle you and tell you don't say anything before the trial, because anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Now, if you're not being honest, oh boy, you are going to make 1,000 mistakes, both on purpose and otherwise, and it's gonna massively hurt your case, let alone the specific thing that Ty Cobb said, which I'll get to in a second.
I mean, Trump himself should know this better than anyone else, because he's already been through this. Remember, when E. Jean Carroll accused him of sexual assault, the lawsuit against him, the civil case against him that was brought forth by Carroll, wasn't about the assault itself, it was about the defamation after the fact. It was Trump going on the record multiple times denying that it had happened, and also, questioning her character as a person, questioning her reputation, or putting her reputation in jeopardy. So when you're dealing with a civil suit, you're literally told to avoid even commenting on that civil suit, because if you deny any wrongdoing, the individual bringing forth that civil suit against you can tack on additional allegations that your denials amount to defamation. He knows this, firsthand experience with it.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. The most underrated thing about Donald Trump, and I've said it a billion times, but it still doesn't get through to people, is how deeply unintelligent he is. Remember, he bankrupted himself in Atlantic City. He started 3 different casinos in the same city when literally everyone told him not to do it because it's the world's dumbest idea. And why? An executive in his organization said because he liked to see his name in lights, and that way he could see Trump, Trump, Trump in 3 different buildings. So that's why I say it's a tie. There's no lawyer in the world that wouldn't tackle a client before they did a press conference like this. So literally everyone is going to advise him not to do it. But Donald Trump is so unbelievably stupid and uncontrollable that he might do it anyway. So I've seen him sometimes when literally, like one other moment was when he was considering martial law, rolling out the tanks on American citizens as part of this coup attempt. And everyone else in the Oval Office said, we will all resign if you roll out the tanks.
And by the way, that worked surprisingly.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's a tie, because sometimes when everybody says we're all gonna resign, he goes, oh, I guess I can't. I guess this one is above and beyond stupid. Like when he said, let's increase our nuclear arsenal by 10-fold, which would have, you have no idea how expensive that is. That would have literally bankrupted the country, and everyone else was like, no, we're just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay.
I mean, yeah, because it's not only expensive to develop the nuclear weapons, you also have to maintain them, and that's very expensive. I mean, he wanted to nuke a hurricane, come on.
Yeah, he's challenged, he's a challenged dude. But I want to come back to Ty Cobb's statement there. Guys, if you put out misleading statements purposely in public, especially in a way that could be heard by the jury pool, and since he's the former president and has a giant microphone, and that will be broadcast all over national media, that brings up a new charge of tainting the jury pool, which you are not allowed to do. You're not allowed to talk about the case at all because they're worried about, hey, will jurors hear in the news, and that makes them biased, etc. And so, I mean, that's a near guaranteed charge, especially if what you're saying isn't true. And since the election wasn't anywhere near stolen and he doesn't actually have any evidence at all, literally everything he'll present is a lie, which then compounds his liability and makes his legal problems in Atlanta and in the federal case even worse.
By the way, devil's advocate, remember this is in regard to the indictment out of Georgia. And currently, Trump's lawyers are trying to move that case to the federal courts. So maybe messing with the jury pool in Georgia is part of this plot to move the case somewhere else.
I hear you, but he's doing a national press conference. So if it's tainted in Georgia, it's tainted everywhere. Yeah. So one more thing here. Have you ever seen a former lawyer speak out against a client? I know that it's hard to remember, right? But I've never seen it, and I pay attention to the news meticulously every day for a quarter of a century, right?
I mean, the lawyer who represented the QAnon shaman did.
Yeah, well, but it's in the same milieu here,
That's true.
Right? So I'm not saying that it's never happened, but it is incredibly rare. It's so rare I don't even remember an instance before Trump. Tons of former Trump lawyers speaking out against him. As I told you before, 40 out of the 44 cabinet members he had refused to endorse him. Why do you think all of these former cabinet officials and former lawyers and people that were so close to Donald Trump, they all come out and do unprecedented things with their hair on fire going, dude, that guy's guilty, that guy's problematic, that guy's got massive problems? Because they've seen him in person, in private.
In action.
Yeah, and if you think he's crazy in public, wait till you get a load of him in private. So these guys are all going like, he's a former Trump lawyer, so he can't say Trump is guilty. But he's like, it reminds me of that Metallica song where the guy's blinking like, he's guilty, he's guilty, he's guilty, right? So they all know it. The only people left in the country that doesn't know it is MAGA. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.